This is one of those videos that sucks to make. It's one of those videos that just all the air is sucked out of the room. Right now, I was recording my videos talking about the WWE Money in the Bank 2015 show that's coming up. I'm a few matches into it, and I just stream over to Twitter trying to find a thumbnail to use, and I noticed that I had a mention, and I went and checked it, and somebody said that they heard a rumor that Dusty Rhodes had died, and I said that no way. And then I just happened to type in Dusty Rhodes to see what other mentions were going on. It's not the first death hoax that's been pulled on Twitter, but when you see Howard Finkel tweeting about the loss of Dusty Rhodes, you know that it's true. It's also been confirmed by TMZ and by WWE themselves. Dusty Rhodes was never really treated like one of the all-time greats. Dusty Rhodes was almost treated like he was the poor man's hero. I guess you can say he's never put in the same light as Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, John Cena. Yeah, you have to be older to really, I guess you can say, feel Dusty Rhodes, like to really understand his style of matches. I know that if you've been watching my videos for a while, it really rocked my world. He wasn't one of my favorites, but when the Ultimate Warrior died, he was such a part of my WrestleMania 30 trip. You know, he was, we went to the Hall of Fame on Saturday. We saw him, you know, take his mention at WrestleMania 30, and then he delivered a promo on Monday Night Raw, the night after WrestleMania in New Orleans. You fly home the next night, and you find out that the guy's dead. It's weird. Dusty Rhodes was a big part of my childhood, and I will honestly tell you that the Dusty Rhodes that I remember more than anything is what a lot of people think is the low time of Dusty Rhodes' career, and that was the polka dot wearing WWF version of Dusty Rhodes. He got to use his own name, but it wasn't the same. It wasn't what he was in the NWA. He fell out of power with the NWA and WCW, however you like to refer to them as, and he went to Vince looking for a job. The story is mixed. You know, there are a lot of people think that Dusty Rhodes, even though he doesn't say it, you know, publicly, thought of him wearing the polka dots was a way of showing that he wasn't as valuable to the WWF as a lot of other guys were. But it doesn't make sense at the same time, because Dusty Rhodes was winning a lot of matches. Vince was treating him like he was a real legend. He never won the Intercontinental Championship. He never won the WWF Championship. But he was never treated like a jobber. Dusty Rhodes was on all of the Rumbles, the SummerSlams, WrestleManias, that he was a part of WWF was. Vince really used him as a star. He didn't bring him in, beat him to Hogan right away and have Hogan beat him or anything like that. I'm sure a lot of people have the American Dream Dusty Rhodes sitting on their DVD shelf. Kind of a cool idea of a box set where it actually opens up. Everybody knows that when you went to the stores and you saw these and you pressed them, it used to have Dusty Rhodes quotes. Pretty cool marketing ploy to get you to buy it, but the battery dies out really fast, and I would love it if somebody had a video of this box still talking, but I doubt there's anybody out there that still does. There's no way to change the battery. I would if I could. It would make this video a whole lot better if I could, but Dusty Rhodes, when this happened, I thought of my friend Gemini, and I'm lucky enough to be one of those people that's close enough to him to actually have his phone number, and the story was so fresh. I didn't want him to find out any other way. It was a lot like when Warrior died. I called him and told him, you know, and he had no idea. He was driving down the road. He had to put his Bluetooth on. Classic Jim Nye moment of letting me talk for a minute and then saying, "Hold on, I can't hear you. I gotta put my Bluetooth on." But he just started spitting off Dusty Rhodes. You know, he was pretty much like he was reading his Wikipedia page, but he was driving down the road, so there was no way in the world he could have. He knows Dusty Rhodes a whole lot more than I do. I was lucky enough to meet the guy one time. It was actually during my Hall of Fame trip to IHOP, where in the matter of an hour, I met Bret Hart, Pat Patterson, Dusty Rhodes, and I also met DDP. I didn't get a picture with him, but he sat in the booth next to us, and we didn't want to bug him. But so many people were wanting IHOP that day. You know, Dusty Rhodes' career lasted from the late 70s all the way through, I'm going to say he didn't hang up the boots until, you know, the 90s. He, you know, became a part of WCW. A lot of people know him as a commentator, as part of the commentator team. He fell in and out of favor with WCW as a part of the writing committee. He came back to WCW. He was a part of those last few shows. It was, I believe, Flair and Jarrett against Dusty and Dustin Rhodes. You can think of, you know, what Dusty Rhodes is leaving behind. Not only the wrestling family that he's built of Goldust, Dustin Rhodes, and Cody Rhodes. You can easily think that, let's just, I mean, this video is going to be mostly about Dusty, but just as of right now, Goldust accomplished so much, and so many people thought that Goldust was a slap in the face, trying to make Dusty Rhodes jealous or trying to make him mad. But, you know, Goldust went on to become one of the true, you know, I'm going to use legends lightly, but I mean one of the biggest stars of wrestling, of any era. Cody Rhodes, a damn good wrestler. I really thought that when they started doing the teaming of the Rhodes brothers together, I really thought it was going to be going somewhere, and Stardust is not where I thought it was going to be. Dusty Rhodes has been a part of FCW and NXT. You could see him as a part of that last E60 ESPN special down there, a part of so many people's lives. I know when Jericho has people on that went through FCW to NXT, he always makes them tell a Dusty story. He's been a part of Rollins, Ambrose, Reigns, Page, you know, I'm sure Neville, you know, Kevin Owens has tweeted about being at the Performance Center and Dusty Rhodes helping him and just being, you know, a face that you see. When Kevin Owens had his surgery and was sitting on the table and he was live tweeting his day at the Performance Center, he said that Dusty Rhodes went up to him and is asking how he was. I believe the story that I read on TMZ said that Dusty Rhodes was 69, and Dusty Rhodes changed and helped so much in wrestling. He's one of the biggest stars. He'll never be looked at as one of the biggest legends. He's, you know, never won the WWF Championship, but you go back, you want to watch two matches that'll rock your world and show you how good this guy was. Starrcade, I can't remember the year, and Starrcade, I can't remember if it's the $1 Million Challenge or if it's the $100,000 Challenge. I believe it's the second and third Starrcades. One of the things that Vince Gemini said to me that stuck with me, you know, as we were talking, was that when Ric Flair got into wrestling, he wanted to be Dusty Rhodes. I mean, so many people look at Ric Flair and think that they probably broke into wrestling at the same time, but Dusty Rhodes was really going. It's one of the biggest names in professional wrestling at the time, and that's what Ric Flair modeled himself after, was trying to be Dusty Rhodes. And Ric Flair, who is looked at as one of the greatest of all times, if he wants to be Dusty Rhodes, show so did everybody else. So I'm sure this rocked a lot of people's worlds as it did mine. But Dusty Rhodes, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, the American Dream, He's leaving us Gold Dust, Dusty Rhodes, who I guess is now retired from wrestling, and Stardust, Cody Rhodes, hopefully one of the biggest future stars of wrestling. I gotta go among my day. I can't finish my videos talking about Money in the Bank. I'll have to finish them later, but he's gonna be in my mind for the rest of my day. I gotta go to the water park, but I'll check you guys out down the road. Peace out, everybody.